back.
Yes, my cucks and my sugar fucks, I am back. Welcome to the channel. I am your host today. I am gaming. Fuck. I'm not streaming. What the fuck? Welcome back. I am creator of the video gaming Legion Gaming Lahan. You can call me Legion. You can call me Jacob, whichever you prefer. Welcome to another video. It's been a little bit of time. You could call me Corey Kenshin. I'm basically him, just without the dark glistening skin and the supple, absolutely luxurious voice. I want my manga, Corey. I ordered it physically. I want my manga. But yes, I have returned. We are back, baby. And let me tell you right now, this is the one thing I need to tell you right now. We're gonna have some fun. Is that we are going to have some goddamn motherfucking fun. And do you know why we're gonna have some fun? Hold up, I need to fix the camera real quick. Hold on. Ladies, I know you see these eyes piercing your soul. Don't you just love it? Yes, that can be all yours. But anyway, okay. But the Switch 2 trailer has officially dropped. The Nintendo Switch 2 is here. Fucking finally. I am so fucking excited. Earlier today, I went and I got Donkey Kong. Who gives a fuck about that? I got my little bongo for the pre-order. I also don't give a fuck about that. But because the Switch 2 is here. The Switch 2 is here. And it looks basically exactly like the leaks. There are there's like one or two things that I noticed that haven't been mentioned in leaks or haven't been talked about. Actually, three things technically. I forgot about that thing at the end. Regardless, what we're here to do right now, we're going to be going through that trailer and we're going to be breaking it down piece by piece. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the leaks that have been now confirmed 100% and some of the things that were not leaked or some different changes, just things about the console, because I am fucking excited for the Switch 2, dude. We've had the Switch for 8 years, and now it is time to move on and get something even fucking better. Let's go. I'm going to kind of stand off to the side here, mostly because I want to show this off, but then I can also kind of put some video up here. So looking at the Switch, we start off, we get the big Nintendo logo, as you do. We got to know what company this is, because who the fuck else is releasing a Switch? They start off with the original Switch, not even the OLED or the OLED Switch. It is just the original blue and red Switch, which I think is really cool in how they did this, because it kind of it brings you in. It shows, here's what the old console looked like. Here's what we started off at. And then we slowly transition into them taking the Joy-Cons off and the screen blowing up. And let me tell you right now, with that screen blowing up right there, I'm happy with it, and I'm a little concerned. One is because obviously bigger screen, and from according to the leaks, this is probably going to be an OLED screen straight out of the box. This will not be just a regular LED. This will be OLED. So I'm super fucking excited about that. I don't have LED. My Switch is in my backpack. That's why it's not over there. I should get that out. All right, I got my Animal Crossing Switch, so now I can assert my dominance and show that I'm a real man. Ah, fuck! It's good. The Switch is fine. Switch is okay. But what scares me about this screen a little bit is that the bezel still looks a little big, like especially on the sides. The top and bottom, not as much, but the sides look a little thick. Like they might be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Not a huge deal. It's still a bigger screen. That the regular screen without the bezel alone, like the middle part there, that's probably going to be about as big as the Switch with the bezel. So not super like a huge deal, but I feel like they could have done that bezel a little bit better. All right, moving into the next part here, we have the Switch 2. We get to see the system. They turn it to its side, and it starts doing a little particle effect, and we get to see that this is probably going to be a matte black system, which, oh, thank fuck. Oh, thank fuck. I honestly am a personal matte lover. To all the mattes out there, get my address, baby. Get in my DMs. But I really like the matte black. Like, I would say between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I would definitely say I like how they do the matte black on here. Instead of the slim version of the PS5, which has the like glossy and then the the matte on the bottom. I like it when it's just all matte. Less fingerprints, less shit I got to deal with on there, and matte black just looks so crisp and so nice. All right, moving along, we get to see along the side where it starts to etch out the Joycon, not a rail, but more of the Joycon slot, I guess we would say now. I don't know what a slot. That slot is the only thing I can really think of right now. Maybe there's a better term for it. I'm calling it a slot. We then move down to the bottom where we get to see the USB-C, the fans at the bottom, and the speakers. Not the fans, yeah, the speakers. What am I, fucking idiot? It's like I haven't been using this system for 8 years. That's right, I've only been using it for 6. Then we move to the top where we get our power button, volume, you know, the stuff that looks like the regular Switch, and we actually get our fans, not our speakers, because I've been playing this for 8 years, totally. And then we also get to see a USB-C on top. This has been shown in leaks a bunch, and the thought behind this is, there are two thoughts behind this. The first one, and probably the given reason, is that a lot of problems with the USB-C on the bottom of the original Switch was that if you were playing in handheld or like tabletop mode, you could not charge your Switch. It was very difficult, like tabletop especially was basically impossible to charge the Switch, and handheld was just annoying as shit. So with the USB-C on top, that just makes it a bit easier. You know, you can just route it through the top. You don't have to worry about it. The second thing that I would like to see is the possibility of being to connect your Switches together, and or putting a second screen for something like DS or 3DS or even Wii U capabilities. I think that would be super cool, and that's just a theory. A Switch theory. Rest in peace, MatPat. Your career will not die. All right, next we move to the back of the system where they start to etch out the new kickstand. And I definitely like how the kickstand looks. I think the only thing I would have wanted is a bit more, like, coverage, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just a giant U, whereas the OLED kind of had the whole flat back that you could do. I would prefer that, just because I feel like this can get a little bit, like, you can get it caught in something and it can kind of get out from under itself. But, you know, not going to complain. I like that we have full coverage. Again, original Switch only had the tiny kickstand on the right side. That was sucked fucking dick. So they fixed it with the OLED, and it looks like they're doing something similar here. So not super mad at it. It also looks like that it is able to go down all the way down to what looks like about a 10-degree angle. What would you be able to use that for? I'm not super sure. Maybe there are games where that would make more sense. But off the top of my head, the only reason I can see that being like a very useful feature is if you're using it for some tablet reasons, but it is a Nintendo Switch, so this isn't like an iPad or a Kindle or anything. So I don't know exactly how that would be useful. But again, maybe there's just something I don't know about that. Also, I'm not sure if that's it in the bottom right of the console. I think that might be the where the micro SD card is going to go. Now, according to some leaks, I believe it was the UK or Australia, one of their GameStop stores accidentally showed that they were going to be releasing Nintendo branded micro SD Express cards. Micro SD Express is, to my knowledge, computer scientist, I don't know shit. To my knowledge, a micro SD Express is basically going to work the same as an M.2. So kind of like in the PS5 where you can slot that in and it runs speed. It gives you more storage, obviously, gives you faster loading speeds. That's kind of what micro SD Express is trying to achieve, at least to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments. Curse me out, because I'm a fucking idiot. But it looks like that might be where it is. I don't know where else it would be, and the micro SD has always been underneath the kickstand with the Switches, so that's my only guess. I don't know where else it could go. Maybe in the dock, but that I'll save that for later. Ooh, now we move on to something that I really, this is one of my favorite parts of this, is the Joy-Cons. We love the Switch, but the thing that really makes it a Switch is these Joy-Cons. Oh my god, and I'm so excited for what they're doing with this. First of all, first thing we see, we get bigger. We get double XL here. No wrapping, just bigger shit. And, I got big hands, big cock, I need that shit. A big problem that a lot of people, including myself, had with the original Switch and even the OLED was the problem of the Joy-Cons being too small. Can you shut up, Creative Cloud? Oh my fuck. Excuse me. But a problem everybody had was that the Joy-Cons were too small, so especially people with bigger hands, it was a lot more challenging to actually play for long periods of time just because your hands would start to cramp up. And if you were not playing with any, if you weren't playing with any like controller, like one of those slot in controllers, or you weren't playing in handheld, if you were just using them in your hand, like detached from the Switch, oh my god, it felt like hell after like 30 minutes. At least personally, it cramped my hands up so bad. I had to hold them basically in my fingers. I couldn't even like palm this shit. I couldn't Michael Jordan that. I literally had to put them in my fingers to be able to actually use like somewhat comfortably. So I am so fucking happy that they increased the size, made it a little bit bigger. You can see as we move in here, underneath the analog sticks, I'm assuming they're analog, I'll talk about that in a minute, we start getting a little bit of color. And I think that and what they're doing on the sides where they're going to pop it out a little bit and give you some color there, that I think might be the second best option they could have done with this console. Now, I did just gush a little bit about how I liked that it was all black, but I do think that a big thing of the Switch was the shell's colors and how you were able to mix and match those. Again, nothing super big. I still think the accents here for a full black controller with the little color accents like this, that's probably the second best thing they could have done after just making the whole controller a different color. And even with like them having the little accents and the whole controller being black, you can always just get some skins or, little controller wraps, whatever. I never use them. I don't know what they're called. I apologize. Fuck me in the comments. Rough, please. But you can always just throw a little skin over it. You can replace the shell if you really don't like it or you really want another color. So at the very least, you got options. But as I was talking about on the side here, they pop it out a little bit, which I think is very nice. It kind of feels like the rails a little bit, but it gives you a little bit more room to work with. I really, really like that they were put the like what controller number it is on the sides. I think that is very intuitive, and I think that actually helps open up everything else on the side here. I mean, as you can see, the SL and SR buttons, oh my fucking god. The pill tax on this fucking console made me never want to play with a single controller ever. If I was ever playing with that console, it was always going to be both controllers or it was going to be like a pro controller or something. I was absolutely never playing that on its side because those pill buttons, and again, controller was small, so I'm already having to hold it basically like a fucking camera. And then with those little pills, goddamn. I am so happy that they did this. They fattened them up a little bit, made it a little bit longer, so now I can actually click those fucking buttons without having to feel like I'm fucking typing one at a time. Another nice thing they did is they threw an optical sensor in here. At least that is what the internet is assuming and what Nintendo seems to be hinting at later in this direct. If you see there, they have a possible optical sensor there in between the SR button and the little connector. And what people are thinking is that that can be used for mouse capabilities. Throw it around, you can slide it around on your desk, and you have your buttons on the back that you can use as your left and right click. And maybe your analog stick there is kind of like a scroll wheel or something. I think that's really fucking cool because you can immediately look to any FPS game and that immediately opens the door for any of those to kind of come onto the console. And you can also look at any of those like sim games, Civilization, The Sims, that makes it a little bit easier there. Just all these games where you kind of have to point and click, that makes it a lot more accessible on the console. And that just opened up a whole new library of games. Looking at the connector there, it does look like it is hollowed out on the inside. So again, we'll see it later where it actually connects onto the Switch. And then you got your little sync button right there. Another nice thing that they have on this, though, is the little feet on the ends there, which I believe are going to be used to connect to the wrist straps. Do you remember with the Joy-Cons? Actually, hold on. This is going to be a little hard to show with
one hand. If you remember with the original Joy-Cons here, you had them, and you also had these little guards, wrist wraps, where you could slide them on. That's the wrong way. Come on, act like you've used this thing before. I haven't. I was doing it the right way. Fuck me. But you had these little ones. They would slide on, snap in like that, and then there's your wrist wrap. And I think that's what the feet on the end are kind of also going to be, is just another way to help lock it into place. There's another feature that I'm going to mention for why I say that. I just realized I had the other one on the end of this. I'm a fucking idiot. I hate my life. But yeah, those feet on the end definitely look really nice, and I'm hypothesizing that they're going to help a little bit with the wrist wrap getting put on. You can also see on the right Joy-Con, I didn't mention this before, is what people are theorizing to be a C button. If you look at the home button right there underneath the analog stick, underneath that home button, there is another button right there. And we have seen leaks and mock-ups with a C on it, basically the C button. And people are thinking, what could this be used for? Some people think this could be a stream casting button. So you could stream it to the dock and into the TV. That's something I'll go over when we see the dock. I'll go over that more. Some people think it might be a social tab, or not social tab, a social button, so you can pull up and kind of like on the plate on the DualShock. Some people think it's going to be like a social button, so if you ever used the DualSense Edge or the DualSense controller itself, in the top left where like a start button would be or a select button, they have an actual recording button that can be used to record some stuff on screen, and you can also send that out. It's also a bit of a social button. So that's what some people think this could be. Definitely, it's a possibility. I mean, until they tell us, we're not going to fucking know. We have no precedent to go off what this could be. But I'm excited to think about what it could be. All right, moving on, we get to see a little bit more of the Joy-Cons. We get to see the left Joy-Con, fill in all the blue, fill in the edges. We get to see another optical sensor on there. Yada yada, again, looks amazing. But then we get to the left Joy-Con, and they start kind of wiggling around the analog stick. And what people are thinking online is that these are not actually going to be analog sticks anymore. They're going, there's a type, I can't tell you, I know it starts with an H, I just can't remember. I want to say it's hollow something. I apologize. Computer science nerd right here doesn't know his shit. But basically, it's a type of joystick where you can do it around every day, all day, every day, 24/7, 365. And it's never going to get Joy-Con drift. It's just going to work. Which, if that is true, that'd be fucking amazing. Obviously, I think everybody has heard it. It like the original Switches, the biggest problem with them was the Joy-Con drift, and even you still see it today with the original Joy-Cons. Is that they came out the box, they were doing pretty good, and after a little bit of use for maybe like a month or two, you would start getting Joy-Con drift. I actually had that happen with my first set of Joy-Cons, so I had to get rid of those. Right now, I actually have a Pro controller. It is technically third party, so, you know, to each their own. But that one's got Joy-Con drift. It's got analog stick drift. Whatever, you get the fuck what I mean. Something else I want to touch on that I didn't actually mention was the triggers. People are assuming, or not assuming, there have been leaks and rumors about the back ones being haptic triggers now instead of the regular analog triggers. If anybody remembers on these original Joy-Cons, let me show you right here. You have your shoulder button, but you have this trigger right here where you can't exactly like move it around, like do anything with it. It's
oh my god, just get to the point, you pasty white fuck.
All you can do is push it once and out. There's only two states to it. Whereas if you're looking at something like the DualSense, you know, let me call it what the fuck it is, you can see the triggers back here. You can kind of press them down and actually have some range with it. The Joy-Cons don't have any range. It's just on or off. With the DualSense, the DualShocks, even some of the Xbox controllers, pretty much ever since the PS3 era and on, even before that, actually. I think the original Xbox and PS2 kind of had these, but yeah, you actually get some range with your clicking, and that's what people assume the Joy-Cons are going to do, which I really hope that they will, because I know a lot of racing games kind of depend on that, and now with Microsoft and possibly Sony, We don't know. That's just a out my ass statement, but possibly Sony. Porting games over to the other consoles, those haptic triggers are going to be pretty, I would say, pretty integral to some of those games. So I hope that we get those. Also on the back, you can see some bigger buttons. So on the original Joy-Cons, you might remember, there was the button on the back right here, and that was used to actually disengage the Joy-Con so you could take it off the rails, get things off of the rail. And that's how you did that. And it looks like the bigger button is going to be used to actually unclick the Joy-Con from your wrist wrap holder or the Switch itself. At least that's the assumption right now. Again, we haven't heard anything. Just because the Joy-Cons, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, they are magnetic. Yes, that is what that port is for. These things are going to be magnetic. They're going to snap right onto the Switch. And the thought is that, well, this magnetism can wear down. Same way the Joy-Con rails can kind of get a little more unstuck as time goes on, and you can almost slide it off without having to click that button. Magnetism is probably going to wear off a little bit over time. So how is this going to actually stay on the system when I want it to? How am I not going to accidentally be playing a game, rage, and fucking snap the controller off on accident? It's just off the Switch now, and then I got to try and put it back on. So the thought is that you put it on, it kind of snaps into place, and you have to use that button to pull it off and actually deactivate the magnetism. Again, I think that would be super cool if that's the idea for it. The other idea people are having is that is going to be the left click or right click for the mouse option, which again, that makes total sense. I think they can go either way with that. Not super sure, nothing is confirmed, just spitballing here. Also ranting for way too long. This recording is already 27 minutes straight. I need to move this along.
He will proceed to not do so and continue to yap for another 30 fucking minutes. I hate my past self. Like, goddamn, move the fuck along. You just talked about the goddamn controllers for 10 fucking minutes.
All right, next thing we see here is they take the Joy-Cons and they throw them on their sides.
He's still talking about this, brother. It's the fucking controller. Talk about the console. My fuck.
Now we get to see the inside of the side of the console. We also get to see that they are coloring the inside of it blue and red, and I will assume with bundles those will change. Like, I'm assuming we're going to get like a Mario red bundle. When the new Pokemon game comes out, there's probably going to be one for the two colors, kind of like how we had the Scarlet and Violet Switch. I really like it though, because again, it adds a little bit of color, but it's not making it the big thing. It's putting it on the inside just so that you can see where the Joy-Cons need to go, and it just gives you a little bit of flair. One thing that is nice is that because of that color, now when you have the Joy-Cons off the Switch and you're playing in like tabletop mode and you're playing in tabletop mode, for example, it doesn't just look like any generic tablet. Like with the original Switch, you take those Joy-Cons off, and for all you know, that's a Kindle. That's just like a regular fucking tablet. Assuming you're not looking at the back or anything, of course, but it just looks like a regular tablet from the front. And even the sides, it doesn't look all that special. Now, one thing that is kind of scaring me about this, and what I've seen some other people talk about, is the connector in there. Obviously, we saw in the Joy-Cons, the connector was hollowed out, and that's where it's going to plug into. I'm a little scared, because there's obviously nothing really securing that, if you get what I mean. It's kind of, it's like, if you bend that shit, ooh, that's gonna fucking hurt. Because if you bend that, for all we know, you bend that even slightly too much, you just knocked out your whole Joy-Con. You cannot no longer connect the Joy-Con. That's scary as shit. And now we get to move on to probably my second favorite part. The Joy-Cons were already my favorite part. This is my second favorite part of the entire thing. Fuck the game that comes later. Don't fuck the game. I like the game that comes later. But for this, fuck that. We don't get the original Switch little click. We get something so beautiful. Oh, so grand. Something that I will take home to my mother and say, I am marrying this thing. We get a clap. or some people are saying a snap. I believe it's a clap. But we get such a beautiful clap. Here. There you go. Are you wet now? Are you wet now? Are you coming out your pants? Because I know I am. I gotta go change shorts. I'll be right back. I didn't actually open the door. It just did that. My house is probably haunted, but you know what? It's fine. All right, now that I'm in something clean, I don't know. I don't know if I can hear that snap again. I might need to change shorts again. But oh my god, I just love the sound of it, and I am so excited that that's going to be the new sound. It just sounds so. It sounds majestic. I know that sounds weird, and I know I'm glazing the fuck out of a fucking clap.
Not as much as the fucking controller.
But dude, does it just sound so good? Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm gonna move on now. Oh fuck, I'm gonna need to go put on some pants. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're in the clear now. I don't need to change anymore. I'm sorry. All right, but anyway, they flash the logo of the Switch, which a lot of people have theorized at this point. It was the original Switch logo, shifted over to the left with a 2 right there. I don't really see how they would have done anything different. The only way I could see them doing something different is only have the left Joy-Con and then the right Joy-Con would be a 2. That's just a thing I came up with literally just right now, and I don't think that would be a great logo. I think what they have, it's simple, it's reminiscent of the last one, but you will know it's something different because you see a giant-ass fucking 2 right there. Then we move on to probably my third favorite thing in this Direct. We get to see some gameplay. We get to see a game. After months of only seeing shit about the console, we have seen so much about this console that we have gotten down to the fucking motherboard. We've gotten down to the motherboard, the chipset, we've gotten down to basically all the specs of this console. But we have not seen one goddamn thing about this thing turned on, what the system OS is going to look like, what the games are going to look like. We haven't seen jack fucking shit. And Jack is fucking shitting because he doesn't have this information. I see you, Jack. I know you're on the toilet watching this. But we actually get to see a game. We get to see Mario Kart. And a lot of people are saying this is going to be Mario Kart 9. I don't think this is. I mean, Mario Kart Tour on the phone was kind of supposed to be the Mario Kart 9. At least that's what has been going around. So I believe that they're just going to skip over actually calling something Mario Kart 9. And this is just going to be Mario Kart 10. Or what I'm honestly hoping for, Mario Kart X. Just calling something 10 and calling it X is automatically making it cooler because you're using Roman numerals. I mean, any game with Roman numerals in it automatically is so much better for me. I think it's so much cooler. So I'm hoping that this is called Mario Kart X. Maybe they'll give it a subtitle, kind of like how they did Double Dash. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they just call it Mario Kart Nintendo Switch 2, kind of like how they did Mario Kart Wii. That'd be fucking stupid, but you know what? It's possible. And now, moving on to a few things with the new game. Obviously, we get to see the new track, which looks cool. The art style looks a little bit different. Like, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was when they zoomed in on Mario. It looked like his nose was a little bit rounder. That could just be me, but that's what it kind of felt like. He had like a bit of a bigger nose. And that's honestly what gave me the tip that this was a different Mario, because I have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I haven't played it that much though, because I don't have friends. From what some reports have been saying, it also looks like that this is going to be 24 players. Mario Kart normally is 12 players for a track, but this one is going to be up to 24 and in online play. Dude, 24 players in online play. Oh my god, the Smitty Plus videos are about to go fucking crazy, dude. Grizzy is about to be having his shit rocked. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Hopefully I can make friends. Anybody want to play Mario Kart 10? I'll give you a happy ending. All right. I've mentioned it a few times before, but now we'll get into it. We see the Switch nice descend down right into the dock. And I think this dock 100% improves on this piece of shit. No offense, but it's literally a cheap piece of plastic with like a motherboard in it, and it's not even like that impressive in my opinion. I definitely think that the design of the new dock is very nice. It's not blocking the entire screen like this piece of shit. you can actually see a little bit of the top, so that it opens up the possibility to possibly having like alarms or timers on it. A lot of images have been going around, mock-ups of ideas of this, where because you have that cutoff at the top, you might be able to put like a screensaver thing on there. It'll put the time. Maybe you can put like a little Mario running across. That would be cool as hell. I think if they don't do that with the way they designed this dock, then they are missing out. That would just be perfect for this. Oh, buddy, and then we get the big thing, 2025. We all kind of knew it was coming out this year. Literally, if it was not coming out this year, I would throw a fit. I would be screaming on the ground, having a tantrum, because again, 8 years. 8 fucking years. 8 fucking years, Nintendo. But thank you for releasing the console in 2025. A date would be nice, though. I'm not trying to ask for too much, but a date would be nice before April. Please, Daddy Nintendo, for me. I'll forward on you. Looking at the next screen, we got something that Nintendo actually did confirm. This was not a leak. This is actually a confirmed message that the Nintendo Switch 2 will obviously play Nintendo Switch 2 games, but it'll also be compatible with Nintendo Switch games. Now, obviously, it's not going to be supported by all Nintendo Labo, whatever you call it. That's probably not going to be able to work just because the actual console is bigger. It was the same with the OLED. The OLED was not compatible with Labo. And I assume a lot of the shovelware might not work. Like, the companies might just not be able to make it optimized. So I feel like this is going to be for a lot of the second and first party titles, maybe some third party, but a lot of indie games might not work on this as well. Maybe, I'm not sure. I would love if indie games worked. Balatro, obviously, fucking love that game. And just looking at this image, oh my god, it makes it even cooler. You can just see how much bigger the console is compared to the original Switch. Oh, God, I'm wet. Now, one thing that they didn't show here is the actual look of the cartridge. They only use a Mario Wonders cartridge from the original Switch. They're not showing any of the new cartridges. And they didn't even show the slot in when they were going through the whole render. They didn't actually show what the inside of the little game slot will look like. What people are theorizing is that they're probably going to do a DS to 3DS situation, where the 3DS cartridges had a little notch on the end, so it could actually fit into the 3DS, but it would not be able to work into the original DS, but it would still be wide enough where you could slot regular DS games in. And then the final piece of the puzzle, the final thing, as I've been recording for a fucking hour. I yap way too much.
You don't fucking say, do ya?
We get a date for the Nintendo Direct, all for the Switch 2, of April 2nd, 2025, the day after April Fools. I tell you right now, if that's a fucking joke, I'm not going to be laughing, because I'm already not laughing that it's 2.5 months away. We've been waiting for 8 years. I keep mentioning shit over and over again. We've been waiting for 8 years. I can wait another 2.5 months. But if that's a joke, I'm not laughing. But I will tell you right now, I will be there April 2nd, assuming I'm still doing YouTube like this. I will make a video on it going over everything. There is said to be a February Direct as well, just for the original Switch. Kind of, it's a regular Nintendo Direct, probably with first party and some indie games getting shown. So yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, let me wrap this up because I'm tired. I want to take a nap. And I was thinking about streaming today.
And guess what? It's 6:45. I haven't taken a nap, and I still haven't fucking streamed. I want to go to bed.
Or take this dick. So thank you so much for watching. I want to get back into YouTube, and I think I'm going to try and stray away from what I was trying to do before, where I was just going to do long video essays. As much as I love watching those, and I definitely don't mind working on them, I actually find it a little bit of fun. It takes up a lot of time, and I've got a lot of hobbies. As you can see, I got a lot, and I can't always take the time out of my day, especially now with the new college semester, to be working on that. I do have one project I am working on where it is going to be a long video essay, but I am still working on it. If you've watched my streams, then I've mentioned it there a bunch. or a few times at least. So I will be trying to work on that. I hope to get that out eventually. I can't promise shit. I'm still working on getting all the data, and I've been saying that for the last 6 months. So be that how you may. But I am excited to be back. I think if I'm going to be making more videos, it is going to be more of these yap sessions, basically, where I'm going to talk about random stuff within mostly gaming, but maybe some anime and movies. And I will definitely also be making some game reviews as well, just because I want to. I think it would be fun. Right now, please check me out on Twitch. I am streaming Persona, the original one on the PSP. I'm playing through that because I want to fucking play Persona. Get fucked. I'm sorry. So I hope that you guys did enjoy. If you guys liked, please like, subscribe, comment, even hit the dislike if you didn't like it. Any engagement would be amazing. Please go check me out on Twitch, where I will be, again, streaming Persona. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on TikTok for whoever knows how much longer that's going to be here. Check me out on Red Note, because if TikTok goes down, I'm going to the Chinese motherfuckers. I don't mean them as motherfuckers. They're very nice people. It's a term of endearment. I'm going to stop yapping. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, everybody. Have a good day. Now I got to edit this fucking video. I don't know about YouTube anymore. Fuck this.
You know, maybe you wouldn't say fuck this if you could stop fucking talking!